Well, day one of the 2022 Mining Indaba has come and gone, with investment in the sector taking center stage. The event, which is taking place in Cape Town, includes mining executives from across the world meeting specifically to discuss opportunities on the continent. Newzroom Afrika's Dumisang Ndlovu expanded on the theme with ABSA Corporate and Investment Banking Head Craig Brewer. All right, we seem to have had a slight issue with that bite. Apologies for that. Let's take you now to the Director of Women in Mining Business, South Africa's Farana Boodhram. Farana, good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. An interesting theme that this year's Mining Indaba has: evolution of African mining, investing in the energy transition, ESG, and the economies. A big focus on that energy transition. What is on paper versus what we're seeing being implemented in individual countries. Is there alignment there?
Good evening, Kathy, and good evening to the viewers. Kathy, I must admit that there is a huge change. I'm in the industry for 21 years, and there's a definite change, but a lot more needs to be done, and definitely at a greater pace than is happening. Our challenges are very strong. We sit with the regulatory process, timelines, environmental regulation uncertainty. All of these challenges add on to what we're going through, but at the end of the day, I'm so glad that focus is put on the transition, which is much needed because we have the potential to be the leading mining industry globally. So I would say that we couldn't have chosen a better time to focus on this. There's an urgent need, and transition is required.
Of course, one of the things that will be needed in this transition is at least consensus on what are the basic minimum requirements, of even expectations on what, the future of mining in this country looks like. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're even there yet.
Look, we are far from where we should be. At the end of the day, the problems we sit with is definitely our community development, where we need to invest more. Our regulatory processes that we've been addressing for a very long time is still a challenge. The timelines, the process, the updates, and it's hindering progress as far as investment into our industry. So definitely we need attention to it, and I do believe we can do it. I must add that a challenge that definitely needs to be highlighted and most definitely a solution is ensuring that we bring in solidly the other 50% of our population. There's very few women in the industry. Obviously, what we have been doing is not working. And as women, we bring in a different side. We bring in a different view. We bring in different qualities and attributes. And I do believe that we can help make the difference. We as women come in with our ability to communicate. We are born with a nurturing ability, and we can add a lot of value, but more focus needs to be put on it, that we can bring more women in that are involved in the business of mining, not just as employees, to make that difference.
Farana, you talk about communities, and in a conference like this, there are many organizations and constituencies that represent communities that feel that, their voices are either minimized or they're just simply not part of processes that include mining in their communities. And there's the big issue of, the social and labor plans that are often entered into by these mining companies that holds them to a certain standard that they're supposed to be delivering in communities. And unfortunately, again, we don't see companies holding up their end of the bargain. Yes, it's the Department of Minerals and Energy's role to ensure that companies are doing that, but given the research that has been done, the reports that have been done to show the full extent to which the mining community, a sector, by and large, is neglecting its own responsibility, that doesn't become an issue of conversation in a platform like this?
Look, I certainly do believe that it should be an issue of conversation in a platform like this, because we're better to address it than now and here. I do agree with you. Mining houses are not complying with what they should. And I do believe that we need to enforce these regulations. We need to, the government needs to come in and enforce these regulations to ensure, and penalties should be issued where necessary. It is unfair to communities, you know. At the end of the day, mining is not just about mining. We've got to look at ensuring our future is sustainable. We've got to align mining very seriously with the Sustainable Development Goals to ensure that everybody is taken care of in the process and our future is secured, and the future for the future generations, you know, need to be secured. So yes, absolutely, we need to pay attention. Everything we do should be in alignment with the Sustainable Development Goals, and that will include the communities at the end of the day.
Farana, very briefly then, just on the last note, the Minister spoke about how this conference has been growing over the years, very successful platform. For you, how do you rate the success of a platform like this? Is it the fact that we're able to keep to time when it comes to the agenda, or what else do you look at?
Look, a drastic difference that I do see this year is that women are more accommodated, and for me that is a change in platform. I mean, we have a Wimbas store, we have WIMSA, we have International Women in Mining, and that's allowing us to have a voice that we didn't have before. So yes, there are changes, and it has improved. I think COVID having kept everyone away from face-to-face interaction has definitely made everyone value it more, and there's definitely more interest, there's more people that want to make the difference, and it's definitely more prominent now than ever before. And I do see the conversations happening, conversations that haven't happened before. There's a voice. We as women have a voice too, and well, we'd like more of a voice, but we're working on it. So yes, there is a definite change, and I do agree with the Minister that yes, more can be done, but there's an improvement from the previous years.
And I guess, Farana, one would certainly want to see it move from a point of women, you know, simply being accommodated, as in being made space for, but, you know, participating as equal partners in an event of this nature. Thanks for your time tonight. Farana Boodhram is with South Africa, she's the director, rather, of Women in Mining Business.